Alright, we're back. It's 3 a.m. It's the devil's hour. And I just had a great idea because that's when all great ideas are had. I'm just gonna scooch all these over a little bit. See what happens. I'm also trying to use less bright light. But I lost the remote for my light bulb. The remote for the light bulb. So if I can move all this over, this connects to something in between. This. And then this. I can't see the colors of the resistors in my dim orange lighting. Alright, and then this comes off. And then we just leave a gap. I think that's probably how I had it laid out originally, and I just forgot. I originally laid this out a year, 2 years ago. I don't know. I just haven't gotten back around to it. But I feel like building amps again, so that's what I'm doing. Oh. You see my obsessive compulsive wire straightening. It's great though. I really love doing this. You can make it, well, as perfect as you can get it. Make it fit in like Legos. Yeah, if I put that there, I have space to pop my wires out from the transformer. Oh. Brilliant. I wish I thought of that. I did. Just later. There, alright. That looks great. And now, because I have that, that doesn't have to be jammed right up. Well, yeah, I mean, I can kind of just make it nice and straight like it was. And this resistor could also be over here if I want. I think I want the capacitor first. And then the resistor. It doesn't matter if you just want to make it look really cool, man. Like, you know, I built enough amps that look shitty. It's time to build one that, like, really is what I want it to be. So that's cool. Now I'm thinking about this area over here. There's nothing wrong with it, but this leg bends over there. And it'd be really cool if it went straight, you know? I mean, for no reason other than keeping it lined up, you know. I mean, there's a couple things that aren't going to be perfect just because I ran out of room, because, you know, I put the output transformer inside the amp because it like fits like ever so perfectly, and I like the look of a really clean, oh yeah, all that shit fell out, all really clean amp top. Woo! Not worried about it. Like I said, it's like Legos, and you just put it back together. Oh, but which one goes where? No, that one doesn't go there. That's a big one. Yeah, I forgot. They don't really sit in there, or they sit in there, but they don't stick in there. One of these went here. How well do I know the amp from memory? Is that how I had it? Probably. That's the guy that went there. And then capacitor first. And then, okay, this one's orange and this one's red. Yeah, and then we need another red one. And that one can go, where does that one go? It can go either here or there. How did I have before? Check the video. That's fine. That's fine. And this guy comes back over here. And there's a couple others. Yeah, this is part of the I was thinking putting this over here, straightening this out like that. And then I can have this resistor on this side or that side. And how much does it matter how far away it is? Does it really? Not really. But, I mean, try to get things as direct as possible. Yeah, and then I was thinking about having, what was, something's happening in between. I can't quite remember yet. This way. And that one goes here. Oh, that was there, so this was here. That what? No, that's not. This one goes over here, or maybe over here. Is that how I had it? And then the long one, and then that can go there, and that can go there. I can just tie those together there. Like that would be cool. I don't know if that's how I had it, but I like it this way. See, sometimes you have to just dump your amp out and then put it all back together out of memory, and you might find a new way of doing it that you didn't think about before. I did not mean to dump the amp out. I'm just an idiot. But, you know, that's the type of shit I tell my guitar students, you know. You have to do it every wrong way. You have to play something wrong every way you can before you can really play it well, right. I mean, maybe you don't have to, but you know. If you learn every wrong way, that only leaves the right ways left. Alright, so that's pretty cool, and I kind of like this setup, but I think there was something that was supposed to go across. I can't remember. I gotta look at the schematic again, maybe. Unless that's it, because that's all the phase inverter stuff. Oh, this one popped off. A lot of what I like to do here is kind of just sit back and look at it for a while, you know. See if there's anything I think I can do a little better, or catch something that is wrong that's stupid. Like, this whole thing was kind of just sitting. None of the wires were clipped. Everything was kind of just haphazardly tossed in here to get a general idea. And now I'm refining the general idea to probably going to be like this idea. And then, you know, certain stuff has already been soldered, like the heater wires and stuff, and this long zigzag ground here. Just trying to get some of the infrastructure done. But I'll try to video amp stuff and throw it up there, because I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anybody. I mean, I know there's amps. I've watched plenty of amp videos, but of somebody doing this, I don't know. I haven't really seen it. But this is what I like to do for fun, and then take them on stage and play them loud. You know, I mean, this is only like a 15 to 18 water or so. I haven't done the math. Probably not gonna, but you know, it should sound good. I gotta address the preamp, which is the messiest part. And like, here's this switch, and there's another one under here, underneath it, that more this stuff goes in, and it all just goes to ground because it's just cathode bypass switching to get some different gain textures out of the preamp, so it's not just the JCM 800 stock whatever, or just my personal mod that I like, but you know, a whole lot of other options that hopefully are all usable. If there's anything that really sucks, there really shouldn't be though, because I spent a long time schematicking this thing and doing a bit of math, and you know, also based on my experience of playing this amp and that amp and whatever, and my own amp that I love, that I've had since I was 16 years old, by Marshall. But yeah, this here, all this shit here should be fun. See these two switches. So when it's done, and we have them both down, this way is down, it's going to be as close to a stock JCM 800, except there's some other stuff going on that's not stock in the preamp circuit, so it doesn't rip your head off basically. And you know, has like some tone. I know that's a stupid thing to say, but you know, this position is gonna get it as stock as it can be, and then like my Marshall is hardwired with that mod all the way, one switch all the way up, and the other one still in stock-ish mode. And then this is experimental past here for some hopefully higher gain and or like a stiffer feel, I want to say, like stiffer and brighter and a little more snappy in your face. Like Marshall is kind of smooth and laid back, like the Plexis and stuff, or even if you run an 800 clean and loud, it's kind of snappy. But the preamp, when you have a lot of gain on it and you're using the preamp for your distortion, you know, I mean, that's why a lot of people run overdrives through them, because they, you know, it gives you more of that, whether it's compression or just some top end boost. It gives you some snap. You know what I mean? When you're playing, you get a response. It's snappy. So, you know, and like think of a Mesa Boogie or a 5150 or something like that. So both in the up position should give you like essentially a low gain, you know, 5150 Boogie dual rec type of Soldano SLO 100 is, I think, where it all started. But it doesn't rewire the whole circuit to it. It just gives it some of the texture of that. And I hope it's really cool. And I hope it's usable. You know, like something that I'm going to want to switch it to every now and again. Because, like, as it is, I've been playing a 15... This is a copy of an amp I built, like, 10-ish years ago that I've been playing gigs with in all the bands. And, I mean, I built it to do open mics. I just kind of slapped it together. It's a mess. I'll show it to you sometime. But, it, you know, I love it. It's great, but it's falling apart because I didn't build it well at all. You know, it wasn't meant to last longer than one or two open mics, just to jam some blues. And I still play it. I may have blown the speaker. I don't know, but I gotta look at that. But I wanted a head version of it, and I wanted a better built version with some more options. So that's what this is. So, and I have, you know, experimented over the years with the combo for the one I've been playing. It's a combo, you know, and this switch is part of it. And I do actually I never use the stock option because it sucks. It's the stock option, right? So I either use, like, if I'm playing with Esperanto or hard rock or, you know, anything where I want like a fat, juicy, you know, thick, pretty saturated, distorted tone, I have it all the way up. And if I'm playing like more like classic rock, blues, country, that type of stuff, I'll put it in the middle position, which is somewhere in between like the one I like the best and the original stock 10K resistor. So it's nice. It's like an in between. It's like you get a little bit more gain, but not like a shitload. You know, it's not overly saturated. If you keep the gain on the, you know, the knob down, and then you can use your volume knob on your guitar if it's a good pot, it's wired right, and your pickups are decent. You know, you can use your volume knob on your guitar and like roll it back and get like actual clean tones, and then roll it up and get like, you know, like kind of classic rock crunch, yeah, like a light crunch, I guess you could say. And that's a great way to use it. And then you throw an overdrive on top of that, and, you know, for leads or whatever, or sometimes I'll throw a distortion on it for like when I actually want it to sound like a harder rock, or, you know, It depends on the dynamics of the band in the room at the time. But that's what's fun to me, man. So, I mean, all right. Now I gotta start adding some wires, linking some of this stuff together that needs to be linked together. Flip it. This way. You can see the preamp mess better this way. So what do I need? I have my white wire. My white wire is going to be general high voltage from like the screen supplies on a plate voltage, and hotter is going to be red wires because that's what comes off the transformer anyway. And, you know, red is hot, right? I like the white. It looks nice. I have purple and blue heaters here and black and green heaters here because that's, you know, what colors I had in the right gauge. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 go all together. Okay. And then these 4 go all together. This spot goes to the transformer. So that means it comes from here. So I need a red wire from there. Then I need a white wire. Maybe multiple white wires from here to these guys into the preamp input for the power supply. I had a more complicated preamp power supply, but I built that other amp 6 months ago or so. That was giving me some weird stuff, weird oscillation. Might have been from the weird power supply. This is pretty much what is in a JCM 800. I mean, not these exact type of components, but, you know, the values are all, you know, in the right order and everything for, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is wrong. This doesn't belong here. It belongs in, where does it belong? It could belong there. And then this could go here. I think that's how I had it. I remember it was a bunch tied together here. It's fine. Alright, where's the schematic? Not that schematic, this. So here and there go. Okay, and I want a nice purple wire for my main signal. This purple's got tone in it, right? I might use purple and blue, just like the heaters, to really confuse probably myself. I don't know if anyone else is ever gonna work on this one, but I'll think about it. Or I could use batter wire, but then that's actually exactly the same as the heater wire, which doesn't need to be fatter, really. Is it going to change the tone? Possibly a little bit. Might open it up just a touch. Might make it too bright. I don't know. There's, everything affects everything, but nothing matters. So, it doesn't just, you can do whatever and it'll sound probably decent, really, if you do it yourself and, get it functioning. That's sometimes the hardest part. Just stare at it and poke around at stuff. That's how I build amps. I mean, this is a prototype or whatever you want to call it. I do have the parts to build another one of these, because originally I was going to build two. I was actually going to build this one. I was going to build like a plexi style one, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there if what we want to make. But right now I want to get this. Also, like, these holes in the back here are not right. Like, that was experimental stuff with some parts that I'm not using. So, I gotta fix that eventually. But I got tired of looking at it looking like a mess and wanted to start actually wiring it. And then, I mean, I'm streaming it. I could film it. There's another amp that I'm trying to make a video on, and I filmed like 5 hours of wiring footage that I'm like, even if you make it as fast as possible, it still takes like half an hour. I'll just go there. Those two, these ones. Yeah. And there's so many of them, so I can use any of them. Also, I'm going to have to connect them all similarly to how I did the ground here with unnecessarily thick wire. But I have it, and I don't have the thinner wire, so that's what we're using. It's the ground. I mean, it can't be too thick. So we're probably going to run it up and under there, wrap around there, or we could go right over the top. No, don't like that. We're just gonna go, so this actually, all right, I gotta get some other stuff in line first. So now that is a little more lined up to where it's actually going to end on one of these 4 here. And now I want to straighten it out obsessive compulsively. This might take 20 minutes. And I'm going to continue to come back to it and jiggle it and straighten it and fix it, until the amp is complete. Because that's how I do it, man. It's pretty good. I can maybe make it, I can move it a little bit, but I kind of like it about how it is right there. So that lets me know where I can run my white wire and not like make it messy and in the way and cross on and all that shit. So stick that up and under, and it's gonna go. Actually, it can go even to this very last one right here. Can I do this without taking the other parts out? I mean, I just need a good enough wrap for now. Come on. Something flew when I moved my hand. Go there? I don't like this. Alright, so that wire is going to go there. It's going to drop straight down. That's going to come straight under. Right? Straight, yeah, it's in line. That's cool. That's fucking cool. I didn't even, plan for that, but it happened. Nice. Okay, there's our wire, ready to work on some more later. It will make it nice and straight and perfect. Also, this capacitor, I want to center better. Does it need to be? No, absolutely not. It's OCD. It's fun. It's, like making shit straight and perfect is like, I don't know, makes you feel good, man. It's like playing all the right notes, nailed the solo. Alright, so we got that. Let's get the red wire out too, just to play with. I just like to work on in circles. Just go around the amp, around and around until like everything is as it needs to be. Now, where's the thing? The thing, it's yellow. There it is. Way down there. I like to stack all of my pliers on top of each other so that if I need the one on the bottom, I have to restack them. It's just how it happens. So, all right. That's going there, right? And that has to connect back to here. And that's a nice wide open hole, so I can pop it in the top. Get in there. Could wrap it around too. We might, if it looks bad, we might do that, make it more uniform. But for now, take a look. Measure none, cut a million times. That's how you spend too much money on wire. I'm not worrying about it right now. What time is it? 3:46. This could be thought of as tedious. know, and you get it perfectly in there and slides right in like that. I mean, it feels so good, dude. It's like, you know, peeling off the cellophane on your new electronic device or whatever. A little clock in your coffee pot, you know. Where am I going with this? I'm going right here. Yeah, I gave myself way too much. Whoa! Yeah, right about there is about where I want to sit, probably. That's thick. Yeah, alright, and we're going to pop it right up there. So am I going to go on the top hole, or am I going to wrap around? I mean, can I jam both of them in the top hole? That will determine if we're going in the top hole or wrapping around. If I cannot jam both the transformer primary center tap wire, right? That's what it's called, along with this wire into the hole, then I will wrap around this wire and put that only in the hole so that when I blow up the transformer, it's easy to swap out, put a new one in. You know, just planning for the inevitable. No, I don't think I'm going to blow it up. Actually, in the other amp, it has this transformer, or no, it might have a Blues Junior transformer. I don't remember. But I didn't blow up the transformer. I broke the brackets that held it on because they got loose, and I ignored it, and I, you know, left it in the back of my car for, I don't know, a year or two or whatever, you know, driving around, playing gigs, going to jams, practices, open mics, whatever, you know, banging it around. Possibly why the speaker's not working so great right now, too. Heavy abuse. But, you know, it's a tool. Use it. I mean, it does still work. It's not like it doesn't. But I got a new transformer just so I could screw it back down in there because it lost one of the ears or whatever you call them, the little bracket tabs. And then I just cranked down the single one for, you know, probably a few months or so. I don't know how long I played with a single screw in my transformer with it kind of just flopping. But, you know, it was fine. People still come up and say, dude, that thing sounds great. Like, yeah, it's falling apart. Don't touch it. Closer. Like I said, you know, don't bother measuring. Just keep cut it long and then just keep clipping it till it fits. I mean, I don't always do that. It's 4 in the morning now, just about. So I'm just doing this for fun. I mean, it's my amp. It's, you know, it's to play. It's to play it. The shows, gigs. Crank up. Put some fun tubes in. Maybe get some new old stock stuff. Maybe see what I got. My first preamp tube that I like, the specific one, whatever the hell it is. It's very specific. They, it's tough to find now. It's not like vintage or anything. It's just, it was a modern production tube up until, that thing started going down in that part of the world that makes all the tubes, and all the prices doubled overnight, and like those tubes are, I think I bought the last one from my distributor. So I got one or two left kicking around, but they're not going to last me forever. I need to find something else cool, either similar or just different and cool. All right, I got that in there, and it looks like this might actually fit. A little bit there. Yeah, oh. This is where I would be using the bright light, but the bright light really made the video washed out, and also my eyeballs are just not having that at 4 in the morning. Saturday night. This is how I party. It's blizzard. It's blizzard outside. There ain't there wasn't nothing to do tonight anyway. It was snowing when I was coming home. Heavily. It was fun. Sliding around, swerving, fishtailing into the lane. But then the damn plow trucks got in front of me and were plowing and sanding and ruining all my fun. But I did make it home alive, so that, that was a bonus. It's a bonus there. Don't worry, I'm not that crazy of a driver, really. It's Subaru. It's made for this. Okay, so red wire. It's not gonna look pretty for a little while. I might even trim it down a little more, but it fits. I'm happy about it fitting, because that makes things easier. I might still wrap it if it's gonna end up looking more uniform with all of the other wires that are in here, like this one. I don't think that would fit with 2 resistors in the hole. I think it's just too fat. It would fit in here with the 1, I think, for sure. And then I got to figure out, I'm going to have to take the output transformer out to wire it to the output, the jacks, 5 jacks for, 2 for 4, 2 for 8, and your 16 ohms. I think I did the 5 jacks instead of the switch with 2 jacks, because the switch costs more expensive than 3 jacks. Takes up more space in the back of the amp, but it's not that big a deal. I do think I am going to add, so some of these holes do have things that belong in them that aren't there right now because they're in my way, like the fuse holder, which has 3 washers on it to get it as far away from this as possible, so I can, work around it. We'll see how that ends up in the end. But, at the time I did that, I was going to have a big plastic power switch here. Not doing that. That sucked. I had a big, what do you call these, for the power? I had a big, like, pop-in one, and I guess poorly cut the square out to pop it in too. And it goes in, but like you see a little gap and like it jiggles a little bit, and that's not cool. Like I either gotta learn how to cut these way better or not. do that and use like the old-fashioned kind that you can screw on. You know, like what I'm gonna end up doing with this is just using one of these, drilling a couple holes here, and then covering up the hole with a plate of metal or whatever. Same goes with this hole. We're gonna cover it up somehow. And then this hole down here is a 9-volt output for most standard guitar pedals. So if you want to have like a reverb or something in this effects loop that I have here, these jacks here are just, it's just a passive effects loop. It's not, there's nothing fancy. It's just, it breaks the line and you can go out and in. But I was thinking, you know, if you want to have a reverb or delay or whatever you like, you know, maybe a noise gate, actually. That was part of it too. If you want to play metal on it and have a noise gate in the loop, you can power it, you know, from the amp itself instead of running, you know, another wall wart down to a thing and having a wire coming off your amp, another one, you know, and all that pain. You can just, you know, get, or maybe I can make a shorty, you know, pedal style cable, and you can just throw your reverb, your noise gate, your whatever, all your effects loop delays, processing units and crap if you want, you know. Well, I probably can't run too much off the 9-volt. That probably takes another power supply, but you know, regular pedals you can throw up there and run off of this. Hopefully, if it works. It might not. I'm good at the tube parts of stuff, but like the non-tube parts of stuff, you know, I didn't go to school for this. I read a bunch of books and watched some. Actually, I haven't even watched that many YouTube videos. I watch them, but like, you know, I go through phases when I'm deep into amps and when I'm not so much. But now I'm not taking repairs. I'm not doing repairs for people right now. Maybe in the future I'll do that again at some point, but it's not, I have to charge too much money for how long it takes to do stuff, and like I end up making no money, and then people are paying more money than they want to pay, and like, you know, it's not cool. It's not fun. I don't know how to fix that side of it, that side of the world, the amp world. But I'm just back to doing this because I enjoy it, and it's really nice to be back to doing it because I enjoy it. That's, you know, I mean, I blew up an amp. I was in my, you know, in the kitchen, had the amp cranked into the wrong impedance cabinet, and it sounded amazing. The best it ever sounded. And then it shot purple sparks out of the top and let the smoke out. And the kitchen smelled like electronics burning for a good at least 2 weeks, 2 months. I gotta ask my buddy. He'd remember that. But that's how it all started. That's how it all really. I mean, I was looking at the guts of my amps. I had an orange AD30 that I just opened up and just looked at the resistors, capacitors, and was like, they all must do something, right? It's not just magic. I mean, it kind of is, but you know, everything does a thing. And it can all be explained by math if you care to do the math. If you really want to make the most perfect hi-fi amp that accurately reproduces, you know, your recording material with ultimate perfection, you can do the math and you can get all that distortion down to nothing, you know, close to it. But for guitar amps, you almost want to go the other direction. Like, I'm almost get worried about having everything lined up so perfectly and, you know, parallel and perpendicular, because the best sounding amps I've built have been the worst wiring messes you've seen. Is there something to it? Maybe. I don't know. I've tried a bunch of different stuff, and like the ugliest ones sound the best. So I hope this one doesn't sound absolutely awful and sterile because it's laid out nicely. Like, you know, if I gotta build them ugly, I guess I will. But all my favorite amps, well, not all my favorite amps, but some of my favorite amps are point-to-point spaghetti. So what's the next step here? We can play with that white wire a little more. We're going to need another white wire from here to there, and we're going to need more white wires to these guys. So I could put one from here to here. That would be cool. Yeah. Here to here to here. And I'll run them right along the edge here. Like how I have this red one along the edge. I feel like that's, I don't know, get real sciencey, and is there's like some sort of thing from having the wire running along the edge of the board with like straight capacitance or something crazy? Maybe, but it's, you know how hard it is to find the answers to these random ass questions on the internet. Like, they aren't really there. Like, these thick books that I've been reading for years have more of those weird answers than anything else. But you know, anybody that got any pointers, let me know. I'm always trying to learn more. Don't work on the amp at 4 a.m. when you're exhausted, just hanging out. No, that's the best time to work on it, man. All right. Let's do a. So, what else needs a red wire? Is it just that? Because we have a choke. Also put in choking. I hope this wasn't a mistake. I don't know if having power supply stuff this close to some of the, you know, this is the EQ over here, is gonna like throw off some EMF noise or something. I mean, we'll find out. If it sucks, if there's a lot of noise, we'll just put it on the outside of the amp instead of inside. You know, same with this. It's always available. But I've done a couple amps with inside, you know, output transformers that sound great. Sound, you know, and they look clean. I'm not flipping it over again. Made that mistake once. Yeah, this one here. So yellow. Am I holding it? Is it right next to me? Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna wrap this around because it's gonna look nicer. All right, I'm just gonna take that out. Oh. We're getting it. I'm running out of things to ramble on to you about. The person, the one person who might watch this video in 3 years or something. All right, you know, I think we might actually solder this one on. Check this out. Battery soldering iron. The convenience is amazing. Or something.
whatever. My other one broke. Like, look at this. You know, you have to kind of like cross thread. Oh, yeah, if you go just a little too far, it pops. So you know, if I can figure out how to like really cross thread it good at the end of it and get it to jam in there, I can maybe use it for a little while longer. But it's a $60 soldering iron. But it was great. Like, it was great. Look how like there's nothing in the way. Like this one's cool because it runs on the battery and everything, and you can use it anywhere at gigs and stuff, which is awesome. You know, but it's chunky. You know, it's not as bad as the old Radio Shack ones with the big screw that was right here. You know, but you know, I liked how thin this one was, and you know, it was sturdy for a while. That was like through the Walmart website. It was like $60. It's got the variable control, you know, to go up to 898 degrees, I think, or some weird random number up there, close to 900, but not quite. This one just is, I don't know exactly where it's at. I'm gonna guess it's around 8-ish, maybe 825. I don't think it's quite as hot as like the 850, 900 settings on the other one. Supposedly it's hot. Let's see. I mean, I'm not going to touch it, but yeah. All right, what am I soldering? This. And I want the wire to kind of go straight out like that. So if I can hook it on there, if it stays, that would be cool. Also, I'm going to make sure that it's wrapped as tightly as it can be around the notch in the post. Part of me wants the bright light, but it's so bright and it's so late, and it also washes out the camera like crazy. I knocked something down. Should I put music on this, like for the replay on YouTube? I can put some music that's just a little bit too loud and you can't quite hear what I'm saying. Yeah, that's how the pros do it. No, we're not doing that. That should be see, let the OCD flow through you. The obsessions compel me. Or the obsession compels me. See? Video title was not a lie. It did do some wiring. Are doing some wiring. Give it a minute. Switch out seltzer. Blackberry mango. It's the best one Polar makes right now. The previous one was a Big Y brand Food Club brand cranberry lime seltzer, which is great because it's really heavy on the cranberry. Most of the other brands, you know,
they kind of
doesn't have the kick. I'm from Massachusetts. I need my cranberry to have some kick. Get down in there. Perfect. All right. And then we're going to here. We should cut this down while we're at it here, maybe. Oh, did I not get this one? It doesn't have, like, right angles. Nice, sharp corners on it. Spins around. Alright. Oh. The whole reason I was playing with it was to chop at least that much off of it. And then put it to the side because it's going to be in my way. Right there. See that right there? It's going to wrap around the opposite direction. This one's wrapping around. I might change that. Also, no, we don't want to go that far yet. We actually just want to go to this one here. Hang on. Yeah. Right here-ish. No, a little far. You gotta go a little farther because the thickness. Yeah, we're about there. And be about there. I have accidentally chopped off a part, like already soldered in component, trying to cut a wire. Just like when you restring your guitar and you're trying to cut off the string ends, and you accidentally like get the wrong part of the string and like cut your brand new string. I mean, it happens, man. It happens. Not often. Happened to a buddy of mine just the other day. Not kidding. Alright. I should have cut off more than that, really. I don't really want the white wires crossing each other, so I can make this one a little shorter and have them come right up next to each other. That would look nice, yeah. Or I could try to get them on top of each other and wrap them both around the same direction. That's nice too. How is this? This looks like it's going to end up next to each other. But not necessarily. I mean, yeah. Offline. Am I here or not? What's this mean, offline? I don't know. Am I currently streaming? How do I check that? I see a couple comments. Hey bro, what you got there? I got this amp. What amp is that? That amp is my my new 15-watt JCM 800-ish clone-ish amp. That's what's happening. Jeez, I have no idea what that's about. What if I try that again? Pop out dashboard. Excellent. 9 views. Okay. Okay. It's working. Sorry, this is the first I've actually looked at the YouTube live stream thing in an hour and 5, almost 6 minutes here. So, but thank you for the questions, guys. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't see one that came through. How come it doesn't make like a beep or something, a ding, when you comment? I have no idea how that feature works. All right. Back to what I was doing here. Oops. It's not as straight as it could have been. Beautiful. All right, so that's going that way, that's going that way, and then my white wire here. Again, same thing. You're gonna have to figure that out, but I just want to see how long I need. Roughly here to roughly that much. Yeah, okay. Cool. Oh, hang on. Slide in here. A little more. Yeah, and then it'll wrap around that way and that way, and then this one will just make a little shorter here, and it will wrap around the opposite direction, and then both of these wires will sit directly next to each other, and it will look like I really give a fuck about what I'm doing here. That's really what I'm going for, even if it's just for myself, because you don't see this when you play it, So right, yeah, okay, and that is
yeah, a little. Gotta straighten it up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Let's pop those out. Put this ground back where it goes. Yeah. I do want this under that. Okay. And then that goes on that side of that. And this goes on that side and that side of that. And then I gotta move this. Let's just pull it. Okay. Okay, so what was I gonna do with that now? Because this wire's on the left of it. This wire has to wrap around on the right hand side. Or two, it actually wraps to the left. Counterclockwise. Or the other one. No, this hand holds that side of it. This one tries to wrap. Oh, why is this fighting me so much right now? Because this isn't quite long enough to really get around. That's why. That's why. All right, there we go. I don't know if I'm going to solder that or not yet, but I wanted to get it on nice. Where is the wire that flew? There it is. This one goes like that. And then it's actually, we're going to go on the second rung of it. Actually, they're. I'm not sure. We'll see how this is all going to end up, because I have to connect these 4 lugs somehow. I don't have to use ridiculously thick wire like I use here. That'll save me some space on the lug. But I might anyway, because I have it. And the other option is I only have this amount of whatever this gauge is. This is the one I want in between.
but I have a ton of the super beefy one, and then I have a ton of a thin one that's like the same thickness as like a resistor lead, which would probably work just fine. But go big or go home, I guess, as he said confidently. Yeah, because that's coming out of that like that. And this does need to go under there, but I'm not going to fight with that right now. I might save that fight until after that's soldered, so I can just jam it under and pull it through and it'll be fine. And these need to be nice and straight and good. And then also the grounds for the power amp are going to be, I keep changing my mind. Originally, I had the switch. Where's this part go? Goes over here somewhere. I have a switch. This switch right here. It's just another one of these three-way switches. This one's an on. And I was going to use it to basically be a wattage / power tube selector. I mean, it takes two EL84s. You can only put EL84s in it, you know, but you can put whatever EL84s you want in it. Like, they don't have to be matched. Like, really, they don't. They might cause less noise if they're matched, or it might not matter. But either way, the point was to have the 15-watt mode with both tubes, and then you could switch it to like 7 watts and choose which tube you want. Like if you had like a crazy vintage, Mullard or something really cool that you found, and you wanted to hear it on its own, isolated, you can do that, and it runs as a Class A amp as opposed to a Class A, well, technically a Class A2. I don't remember exactly all the stuff, or as soon as you put a capacitor on it, that's Class A, AB1, AB2. There's a couple different ones. I don't remember. I just remember the parts that I need to know to make the thing, and then I have the reference books and, this new technology. The World Wide Web. What was I doing before I started rambling on? Maybe this resistor. Where does this resistor go? I forget where the hell this came from. I'm looking at the schematic right now. Maybe I should look at it. I think this is part of this world over here, maybe? I don't know. I'll figure out where it goes eventually. Wonder how long it's been lying on the desk. Oh, no, I know where it goes. It goes right on this one. Right there. It's the one we took out all the way to do the wire. Right? I think so. What time is it? It's 4:30 in the morning. Insomnia Amplifiers. Maybe that should be the new amp company name. Straighten it. All right, good enough. So
got those laid out. And then we are going to need to connect though, we're gonna need another white wire. Yeah, okay. White wire from here to there. That's the next one. I'm gonna try to run that wire that white wire on the back side of that strip. So we're gonna come from this lug here. And again, I'm gonna wrap it around only because all the rest of them are, and it won't look right if I don't. Ugh. I've given myself rules. It doesn't have to be there. I could do it here. But I kind of want to do it on the one that's like in the middle. Keep it, you know, keep the feng shui. All that stuff out of my way. We're gonna run it right on the edge there. Yes, that's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to wrap around. Nicely, cleanly. Might have to trim it a little. It started off nice. I mean, it's still nice. It's just, you know, it could be nicer. Just a little bit. All right, we are going to actually start over and give it a little haircut, which is a swear word in my world. Like it was made for it. I made it for it. Yep. And now I want to move it a little out. Or, nah, I'll just bend it out. That goes to there, so I'm going to cut it there. Hey. And that one. All right. I think, yeah, Okay, that goes to here. Let me make that bend. Yeah, it's happening. That's going to have to move later, but you know, it's close enough to where I want it to remind me what I was doing tonight when I look at it tomorrow and have zero recollection of anything that happened. Oh, but now I have live stream video replays so I can watch. See what the hell I was doing. That doesn't look good anymore. I'll have to fix that. But, alright. Oh, let's get that back where it belongs. Alright. I think that's where we're gonna call it for tonight. Today, this morning. It's fucking 4:38 in the morning. Wow. Verify it's you. I've been live streaming for how long now? An hour and 26 minutes, and now you need to verify that it's me? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. Where's my phone? This is absurd. Yes, it's me. Am I still here? Jesus Christ. Hands in the robot. Yeah, it does. Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm done. If you want to give me a call, dude, I'm shutting this thing off. Good night. Goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow, maybe with a guitar stream because I need to practice. See you later.